Hi, everybody, everyone that's watching, if you are. So I didn't do a vlog yesterday, and it is really important to me to do this diary thing. So I'm gonna try my best to do it daily. Um, but yeah, so I just got back from work, and it is not going to work. Me working there, it does not pay nearly enough. I cannot pay my bills. I have no money to pay for school next month or rent. So, however, I like to think of myself as resilient, so I'll definitely find a better job before next month and get all that straightened out. But, yeah, so what was I gonna say? I tend to take my glasses off because of the glare when I'm filming, but yeah, so I wanted to show you guys this really pretty New York sunset, but it's kind of dark now, so I don't know if you can even see it. I'll try. Here. Okay. Can you even see anything? But yeah, you can see you can see the city from here and from here. This isn't actually a really good way to show it here. Yeah, we got all the glare from the window, but it was really pretty, so I don't really know what to do now. Oh crap. Okay, so that wasn't that successful, but yeah, so that's really kind of it. Being here in New York has been um, something, to say the least. You know, actually being on my own for the first time, you know, paying rent and paying $1,000 a month bills and everything, and you know, really sort of knowing that I'm by myself here and everything. Haven't really met too many people. Well, that's not true. I've met a lot of people. I don't know. This isn't a good way to explain it. But yeah, it's just different, you know, not having like a home base yet because I haven't really moved into my apartment yet. And then, you know, the last time I lived here, I had a lot of people in my apartment, and we all met the week before school started, and we all got close really quick. It was really interesting. So it was just nice having that sort of family around me. I don't really talk to any of those people anymore. Um, that's a story for another time. Not that anything like super bad happened. It's just, but yeah. So you know, and just like being out on the street and everything, and knowing that like there isn't really anyone that you can like call that you know well enough that you can just you know call if you need help. I mean, I do have a couple, and I stayed with them for a week last semester, but it was, um, I don't know, they were really nice people, and it was wonderful for them to take me in, and they fed me and everything, didn't charge me a thing, but I still felt like I left on a bad note. I overstayed my welcome, not purposely, I really just sort of was in a fog, trying to secure permanent housing while I was there and everything. And I don't know, I just sort of got something mixed up. Whereas for some reason I was thinking that we talked about it. For some reason I was thinking that um, they were going to allow me to stay there for, a little bit longer. But I don't know, originally I had said, for no, a few days. But the thing is, I didn't want to stay with them originally. I didn't want to stay with anyone. I didn't want to be a burden to anyone. And then finally, like, Harmony convinced me to stay with them. What made me furious? What made me so angry? So I had housing last semester. I was supposed to start school last semester. I had housing. It fell through. So my world is falling apart. I'm about to lose my mind and freak out. And so I call Cece, Harmony's friend, and I ask her, do you know of any places, any places that, cheap places that I could stay, while I look for permanent housing, and I explain the situation and everything. I was in no way, shape, or form asking to stay with her because I felt that it would be weird. She's Harmony's friend. I don't know her that well. I've met her once. I would never ask to stay with someone that I don't know like that, to be a burden on these people and everything. The idea made me very, very uncomfortable. So anyway, she said that she'd see what she could do. I guess she called Harmony after that. Harmony, and I had texted Harmony, I think, about some things. Harmony called me, yelling at me, and saying, why didn't you tell me this and that? And, you calling Cece is, and asking if she knew anybody is basically you asking if you could stay with her and stuff like that. I'm like, no. And it just made me so angry. It made me so angry for her to assume that, because no, sometimes asking a simple question is just asking that question. There isn't always a hidden agenda behind these things. And I don't know if I'll ever stop being angry about that, because I loathe it when people accuse me of having ulterior motives, or tell me, what I'm thinking or feeling on the inside or whatever, and then refusing to believe you otherwise. But anyway, so um, anyway, so she's furious and she's yelling about that. And I'm like, no, that's not the case. I really just wanted to know if she knew anybody, because she lives there and she has a lot of connections, as you're always saying, and everything. So anyway, then Harmony eventually convinced me to, ask Cece. So I asked Cece, if I could stay there for a few days, while I tried to procure housing. Next thing you know, it had been a week and everything, and I don't know, the week flew by, and I really just didn't realize it. I was looking for housing, nothing was working out. I didn't have any money. It was a huge thing. I did not have a lot of money. The housing that I originally had, it was going to be three something a week, and I was just, I don't know, I think I just sort of thought that I would be able to get, a job and paid weekly and everything. Anyway, it did not work out. So by Sunday, they had a talk with me, and they were basically like, you told us that you'd be here for a few days. Now it's been a week and everything. And they talked to Harmony, and there was this whole conversation with all four of us and stuff. And I just didn't realize that I had overstayed my welcome in that way. I don't know. It was a very, very bad feeling, feeling, like you've overstayed your welcome and everything. And, stuff. But, yeah, and so, I'm holding back tears the whole time, they're talking to me about this, and Harmony was suggesting, and, they were trying to, help me and everything, in the long run, with what I'd be doing. But it just didn't really, I don't know. I mean, the advice that they were giving me was good, no, it just, but anyway, Harmony suggested that I stay with her in DC or Arlington, Virginia, which is pretty close to DC, like 10 minutes away, while I look for housing in New York. It's 4 hours from DC to New York. And I could get a job or whatever and save up. And so that night, or I'm sorry, the next day, I packed up, and I had already started school, mind you. Oh my goodness, it was the worst feeling ever. But I packed up. Harmony bought me a bus ticket, which I paid her back as soon as I got to DC, and got on the bus to DC and stayed there for 3 months. At which point I went home for Christmas, and then came back to New York, and now I've been here for almost a month. And I'll tell you, it was a journey, and I still didn't save enough. It was just, I never realized how difficult it is to save. I don't know, it was my first time doing anything, and I just never realized, I never knew how difficult it was to save. Like, I remember I bought some clothes, like Forever 21 other places, with the express purpose of getting winter clothes. And I did get winter clothes. I got a nice warm winter coat, hats, scarves, sweaters, stuff like that. But I still spent way too much money on like lunch at work, because I wouldn't have, if I hadn't gone grocery shopping, I would forget to make lunch. Wouldn't be able to make lunch, or I'd forget to make lunch if I did have food. I just spent so much money on lunch. And I was working at Nordstrom in kids' shoes at Pentagon City, and it was getting cold, so there was a whole lot of traffic coming through, and it was just very tiring and busy and overwhelming. And so when lunchtime came, I was like, no, I have to eat a whole meal or I will pass out. I'll pass out or I'll throw up or something. But yeah, so much went to meals. I didn't really spend a whole lot on anything else, but like, I don't know, it just sort of sucked my money away. But anyway, so I don't really have any money, and oh Lord. And the thing is, I know that all of these things could have been avoided, every last one of them, but a lot of times you don't see things coming until they're there. So I'm begging God to make it work this time, because as lame as it sounds, there is something inside of me that I really, really want to let out. And I haven't been able to do that for my entire life, and I just know that, going to the school will do that for me. So I just don't want to wait anymore.